Mario Strikers Battle League serves as insight into Nintendo's current strategy towards live service games. With mostly spot-on mechanics, Mario Strikers offers a great time for the short time it lasts. I'm a little late to the party here with this review, but I believe this title is the perfect kind of game to post a review on to hopefully inform potential buyers and start a conversation. Some background info: I played a lot of the original GameCube title, but skipped the Wii's iteration, so I am somewhat coming into this as a newcomer, but with a 15-year gap from the last Mario Strikers, just about everyone is as well. As per usual, feel free to leave me a comment and or a like, but with that out of the way, let's review Mario Strikers Battle League. As soon as you jump into a match, it becomes apparent rather quickly that this is a game that's easy to pick up and play, but hard to master. It doesn't take long to feel comfortable with the basic commands of move, pass, lob, tackle, and shoot. The tutorial does a pretty good job of going over the macro and micro aspects of the game, teaching those who want to learn. While the basic soccer or football mechanics are present, it wouldn't be a Mario game without some sort of over-the-top shenanigans. Unlike in your annual FIFA, full-on tackles are allowed, which serves as a powerful double-edged sword towards effective defense. Much like Mario Kart or Smash Bros., there are also items and charged special moves that add an extra layer of chaos. Like those other two games mentioned, the tide can easily be changed with just a single item. In one particular match, I was down 1-3 with about 20 seconds left on the clock, when a supercharged orb appeared, and I was able to snag it just in time to complete a super strike that evened up the score heading into overtime, where I was able to squeeze out a narrow victory. It's exhilarating to know you're always just a few seconds away from shifting the tide, which is great in victory, but definitely frustrating in defeat, which happened to me a few times online for sure. All games are 4v4 with the addition of a mostly CPU-controlled goalie. I think changing up the amount of players on the field could have easily added some more needed variety, while the lack of control over your goalie felt like a missed opportunity. From passing to tackling and shooting, the basic gameplay loop is quite enjoyable even with the lack of options. That's your core gameplay, but the next natural question is, what modes does this game have? Well, I'm glad you asked, because there isn't much. There is your standard quick battle option where you can play singular matches online or locally. Cup battles are a little more interesting with 4-team bracket style tournaments. There are 6 cups to choose from with 2 different difficulty settings. Each cup is basically identical to each other outside of some AI differences. One cup may be focused on players who have mastered passing, while another might have a team full of aggressive tacklers. It's kind of a nice way to mix up your opposition's approach, but could have easily just been a pre-game setting, if I'm being honest. The lack of any real options to spice up these tournaments felt like a kind of a big letdown, especially considering how few modes there are here altogether. I would have loved to have the option to adjust the bracket setup as well as some different format and setting options. The last mode is Strikers Club, which is where you can join a club and compete on behalf of a team with or without a friend online. It's kind of a neat idea that isn't really expanded upon much. And that's about it. No custom modes, career modes, challenge modes, or adventure modes to be found here. One of the quote-unquote hooks of this particular Mario Strikers is the introduction of gear. I saw several advertisements related to the gear and I wasn't really sure what to make of it. Visually, much of the equipment looks like football shoulder pads meets futuristic battle armor, which is pretty cool. There are 6 sets of battle gear that can be fitted to each character while being divided up into 4 sections that can be mixed and matched. The application of the gear is comparable to recent Mario Kart titles, where each piece has an effect on your character's stats. Again, like Mario Kart, for every stat that is increased, another is decreased in the process to keep balance. The best implementation of the gear system is to tweak stats of each character to help create your quote-unquote complete team. Going into matches, you also get to select your jersey color and stadium half. I actually like a lot of these jersey options available, but found the stadiums to feel underbaked. The idea is cool, but in reality you don't really notice the differences, minus maybe some grass color variations. Between gear, jerseys, and stadiums, there is an alright selection to start with, but I found myself disappointed there wasn't anything to unlock or discover beyond these initial offerings. This lack of progression also applies to the small roster of characters. With a roster of 10, you'll just about have all the characters on the field at the same time unless you go exclusively for a Yoshi or Toad team. Nintendo has publicly announced there will be additional content added via future updates, which seems to be Nintendo's interpretation of a live service game. When it comes to the presentation, Mario Strikers Battle League does smash it out of the stadium, or at least into the high voltage fence. This shouldn't be surprising to anyone who's familiar with Next Level's previous project, Luigi's Mansion 3. The visuals here are among the best the Switch has to offer. More specifically, this title excels in both cutscene and in-game animations. I can't think of another Mario title in recent memory that is able to infuse so much personality and attitude into every interaction. From super strikes to stadium entrances, everything is presented with style. Even the music excels here with a killer guitar riff leading you into battle. Mario Strikers Battle League definitely hits on the right vibes before each match. From the enticing visuals to the banger of a soundtrack, the presentation as a whole is one of the main standouts here. Mario Strikers Battle League is an unusual title to review due to it excelling in its basic gameplay mechanics and presentation, while severely lacking in content. 6 out of 10. To be honest, this score isn't a very good representation of whether or not I'd recommend this title. I don't usually fixate on money to content ratios, but in this particular case, I can't recommend this game at $60. Now, if a year from now of me writing this, the game is considered complete, then sure, I think many of you who are interested will enjoy this game. But until then, I'd be on the lookout for a sale if you're still interested. I'm all for free content being added after launch, but let's add to an already completed game instead of subtracting from one. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.